about my soul ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This dimension's a meal. I know that I know. I am that I am, so I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from single BSV Tech Tap In. I'm here with you, Blake B.
It's Danny. Let's Code.
Codex Metatron in the house. You see, we got some new branded gear, man. We've been working hard all week, but it's also been a lot of good tech news, Danny.
Yes, it has. A lot of interesting things been happening over the last few weeks.
It's crazy because the rate at which technology has been advancing, man, it's so fast paced. Last week, Claude 4.0, all the different things happening in that side with AI. Man, it's like even this week the stories get even bigger. So it's a crazy time to be alive if you're invested in this tech space. Let's jump straight into the top news items for Black Silicon Valley in the past 7 days. Number one, Trump freed Larry.
Yeah, man.
That's less about the Silicon Valley as it is the Black. But it's exciting news. What's the stipulations on that? I saw it came out May 28th. What's that? Wednesday? It came out the day after our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not out.
No, he has from what the story says, that he still has to serve an extra 150 to 200 years in the state of Illinois.
Okay, so that has to do with state time versus federal time.
Yeah, they cleared the federal time, but he still has state time.
We actually knew somebody closer to that situation. We were hoping to get them on the show in the next couple of weeks to break it down, because I'm more on the tech side. You know, I'm less inclined to sit through and read through a lot of tedious court paperwork. Like, it just brings back bad memories.
Yeah.
That's a part of my life I think is in the past. But very exciting news. Some of the key points somebody highlighted to me was, you know, he's, I guess when he was in his 20s, accused of ordered a hit on a man. And it's the type of situation where the person who actually did the hit got out like 20 years ago or something. Yeah. So let that man free.
What from what I've read is that he didn't do it. His friend did it, and he got out. He's still serving time. So I haven't did my research on it, but I'm kind of confused on the extra 200 years of state time. So that's probably something we got to look into.
Seem a little bit personal to me, but I don't know a lot about the situation. You know, that's kind of
a possibility of parole in 2062. It's not 200 years, but you know, it's something to look forward to, I guess.
Man, they giving out years like it's nothing. Yeah. Boy, they just playing with your life.
That's why I stay out of trouble.
That's why I stay in the Black Silicon Valley.
Stick to the code.
Stick to the code. Yes. We stay on that command line.
Yes.
Second big news story on June 2nd. That's what, yesterday? The US FDA created what they're calling ELSA.
Yeah.
ELSA. An AI model that they're using as an agency-wide tool to streamline their processes. So, you know, my first question when I seen this article, are they gonna open source it?
I hope
they should. I don't understand if government, if we want a free and open government, if government is not gonna be in the open source surge of technology, like what are they even doing in it?
My question is, do you trust the government with the security of our drug safety?
I trust them more with it if it's open source, because then we can all, typically how open source works, if you look at GitHub, you got a bunch of people who they call contributors. They're looking at your code base and pointing out like, hey man, this is a security vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, hey, this is a way you leaking your security token in the console, or just a whole lot of different things that everybody's not privy to. A lot of projects call for you to work with new technologies, and you plugging stuff in, certain stuff might leak.
I was watching a Instagram earlier, and it was a guy said that we were bred to have faith in the FDA. What do you feel about it?
I mean, in a certain, what do you mean bred?
I mean, that's what I mean. As you know, they control, manipulate.
I would say, yeah, that has to do with traditionalism to me. Is like a lot of the ideas of the past are also ideas of our ancestors.
Yeah.
I feel that way a lot about certain religious things, certain technology things, definitely certain health things of like, well, it's been okay all this time. I don't think it's necessarily healthy to eat pig's feet every day just because we come from a resilient people and slaves could do it. Like that don't mean it's something you should strive to, you know. At a
Yeah.
certain point, you got to elevate your position is my take. But getting back to the Elsa,
It's making health decisions as well.
I think if they're smart, they're gonna get into to some feed forward networking to where it'll be making predictive analysis of different things they might put in our food and drugs. And whatever it predicts, when they actually try it and they test it on us, the
Mm,
American guinea pig people,
mm,
um, they'll take what actually happens and feed it into that. And in that way, it'll be able to, fine tune this analysis and hopefully give you a better prediction on the next one.
all right.
So that's a good way they can implement some neural network type capabilities, I think, to advance it for good. Because I trust it a lot more than the traditional FDA model, which to me just seems like pay for play.
Yeah.
Like big meat, big pharma, big tobacco, whoever, just pay for approval.
That's kind of how I look at it. Like that's why it scares me away because that's why like how I look at it with doctors. The reason why I don't go is because they get paid for you to come back. So I feel like somewhere in the mix, this is getting manipulated to pay you to understand. Okay, we're gonna get you to trust the AI, trust the system. We're gonna feed it the information we want to feed it. Then you got everybody that's looking at this online. They're gonna do what it says. So I mean, it's like it's can it's like on a thin line for me on do I trust it or not. You seem very trustworthy of it.
I wouldn't
I'm not.
say I'm trustworthy of it. My thing is, in terms of whatever you hold private,
Yeah,
they probably been had it. And if they don't, they gonna get it anyway, brother. I ain't
that's
really
where I
got
live.
too much to hide. I am who I say I am these days.
Yeah.
Take off the mask, Danny. Just let the AI give your info to the
No,
government. It's not
no,
that big a deal.
no. I mean, I'm everybody be like, well, you mainly use AI, but you're scared to use it. I mean, it has a lot of capabilities that we're not aware of.
That's true.
That's where it
Don't
is
put the
with me.
robot in your house yet, for sure.
Yeah, because
I don't trust it.
that's why I'm so big on building my own because I know what to expect. I know. I feel like I know because I feel like they do learn at the time on their own. So, but
Yeah, I gotta say the earlier models, it was easier to detect in the early LLM models. That's the Chat GTPs and Claude for
yeah,
Anthropic. Perplexity is another good one too. But the early LLMs, based on what they took from what you said,
yeah,
it was kind of easier to tell that it was just mimicking back your request back to you with some information.
mm,
Um, the new ones, how we talked about last week, trying to extort people and all of these type of things, you
all
know,
right.
that's you got to watch smart people,
That's the main reason why I be on the fence of like I trust it, but I don't trust it.
man.
The quicker way I can sit here and learn how to make my own, I'll be happier. You know, I still like it, but there's a trust barrier there for me.
But I think even if I made my own, I want to stay at the context windows of them earlier ones.
Yeah,
With more and more context, we're getting more and more of an information system that's mirroring close to a human brain.
right.
I don't want it that smart. I want a parrot. I want a parrot right now. It can say the stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want it at
I think I'm leaning on more of the smartness because it's a lot of things I would like to know, right? Like that, you know. On the case of me just feeding it information, in the mix of like I say, I'm scared of it learning on its own, but I would like to learn it, like it to learn on its own, in a sense. But everybody has their own opinions on that one.
I think when the field of study of AI learning on its own is called unsupervised learning.
Yeah.
So that's something to look into, definitely.
See, but I see like how we build, how we do all our apps and everything. We keep a track of everything. So I mean, I personally go back and check everything as I'm reading through because I be done mixed up my mind, and one day I have one thing and I come back and it totally is gone. So now I have to read back over what I've done. So I'm steady checking. So I don't, me personally, don't see that it's been an issue.
Yeah, not really for me neither. But I've always understood that token, the check-in that it makes you do on the different tools we use with AI.
Yeah.
That's more because it costs you money. So like off of one prompt, they don't want to build you out the full app, or if it's you're working with Claude Code or multi-app or whatever the situation is,
Hmm.
they always want to give it to you in bits and pieces. And I kind of like because like for Claude Code, if you've pre-approved all the actions, that thing of code for like 30 minutes on its own.
Yeah, I found out, but it's still taking your money.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not one
But
prompt
it's
anymore. So it's like the longer you let it run, you'll find out that that thing done ran about 15 prompts on its own because it's not perfect.
it's not. It's better than me. I'm gonna use it.
He said
I'm not beefing with it, Danny. Hey, I don't want no smoke with Claude. He'll always have a chair in my
yeah,
organization as long as they keep up the good work, keep advancing these models, keep the AA work going forward. Um, Third story, more big news in the AI field. Google releases what they're calling their Edge AI Gallery.
yeah, I'm with it.
Supposedly, that's a system to help get AI models to your devices without the internet.
Offline, yes, they say even if you have poor connection, you can still use it. You got the power to download apps, run your AI, depending on what the models are.
Okay. I hadn't actually looked all the way into this. I did see, I think a week ago, as part of their IO conference or whatever, I think it was like May 25th, they announced that they had some edge models coming to some edge AI models that were going to come to native devices, but they didn't really dive too much into it. I guess yesterday they released the AI gallery. I almost want to look into that right now, but let me see. Put AI on your phone without the internet. Okay, so it looks like an interface, a lot like Google. Yeah, it is Google. Um, Available. It's coming soon. It's on the experimental trial. So if you have an Android, you can try out the Google AI Edge Gallery right now. I don't have an Android. I wish I did. If you have iOS, it should be coming soon, they say. But very interesting. I wonder what's the processing power we have in our phones nowadays. That's something I don't really understand. Like how I know they don't have the storage
So
to put some of these larger models on, but we're talking about like Mistral and
I
things
kind
like
of
that, right?
on the line on the storage situation because like I've been battling with my phone with the storage, and you got the option to buy more storage, which
Right. But that's cloud storage. It's not on the device.
exactly. But I don't know.
That's something we got to look into. These edge AI that
Um,
Google claims they're supplying on the gallery. Please, if anyone knows, drop something in the comments to let us know. But I gotta do some research on what the model size is and what the token limits are.
yeah,
Because you telling me if I go put myself in a Faraday tent with this phone and no internet and no cell connection,
their big pitch for this is for underserved communities.
yeah, I gotta see it. I
So
gotta see it. Didn't they have that program that was like we spending all these billions of dollars to build something so everybody in these rural communities get the Wi-Fi, and it's
I
like all
think I
these
heard.
years later,
Yeah, I
not one
think I heard
person
about
got
it.
Wi-Fi due to that program. So
I think it would have been trash anyway.
probably what do
Yeah,
they need it for? They farmers.
isn't that like right around when they came out with the fiber?
I'm still. Why don't we have? That's thank you for transitioning. Why don't we have fiber in Chicago? Yes, I know you can get me the download speeds, Xfinity? What about the upload speeds? We're trying to work with top level AI in Black Silicon Valley. Any contractors or anybody that knows, like, why is there not more companies offering fiber?
What was his excuse? They can't go underground. But most of Chicago seems
Yeah,
to
you
be
know what? That would
underground.
make, I bet it has something to do with bureaucracy. I bet you got to grease 10 palms just to put some fiber in the community. They don't have these problems in the other
They
Silicon
got
Valley. I'll tell you
sewers
that much.
everywhere, so I don't. That's something I don't. I mean, they
The
probably.
concrete is breaking, Danny. It's
Yeah.
like half of the streets need to be brought up in our community anyway.
Right.
Just when you do it, put some fiber down there, man. I'll slide you a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Couple. I got one.
It's
I got
beneficial,
150.
but other than that, we still hitting up these coffee shops for the time being.
Man, fiberless. Sans fiber, as the French and French would say. Our next news story: Google, done got set to spend 500 million revamping their compliance and a
Fraud.
shareholder settlement. What does
Yes.
that mean, Danny? Look it up for me. What happened?
The new board level oversights. Wrong. My bad. Wrong information, y'all.
Danny AI. 500 million revamping compliance and a shareholder. According to Reuters, shareholders say Accord is still Google's culture change. They agreed to spend 500 million over 10 years, so 50 million a year, to overhaul its compliance structure to settle shareholder litigation accusing the search engine company of antitrust violations, settlement papers show. The preliminary settlement of so-called derivative litigation against officials at Google's parent, Alphabet. If anybody didn't know, Google is actually owned by Alphabet, including chief executive Sundar Pichai and Google co-founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page. So this, I guess, isn't that much of a surprise to me, because in the back of my scam brain, I've always kind of figured like that this was happening in technology. Like if I tell you, hey, pay for these ads, and this, this is the strongest level of ads, I'm like, yeah, but your internal stuff's gonna be a little bit stronger, huh?
Yeah.
That's just kind of how you build tools. I'm not super surprised by it. I would like to see more information about what they have to prove it, because all of this is. I'm sure if they're bringing it to an antitrust, they've got good documentation. But looks like the changes are going to include creating a standalone board committee to oversee risk and compliance.
Yeah.
So they're going to get the Jedi Council back together. They'll
Just
figure it
gonna
out.
have all the senior executives.
Move some guys
Say they're gonna
around.
have it in for a minimum of 4 years. They
Mm-mm-mm.
say, can the overhauls restore public trust in tech giants?
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Me neither.
amazing. It's amazing how much money you can generate from technology. Like, it's an idea and you sit and write some code. And yeah, I guess the server cost might be a little bit in compared to what you'll make, from a high traffic website. But
Yeah.
how does Google have billions of dollars to put, on arms in the Israel Hamas fight? Like, what does that got to do with y'all?
Information and data. It's very, very, very simple to me.
I think the algorithms they produce are also powering the autonomous drones they using. That's very interesting. I think was it you that pointed that out to me? Or no, I might have been wild.
Yeah,
I get it.
something you
I
be
get to
watching.
going down them Twitter
Yeah,
threads,
I was
man.
gonna say you be on that Twitter hard.
Yeah, and I refuse to call it the other thing, man. It's still Twitter to me.
X.
I'm not getting with the
X.
times. I'm sorry. No.
Somebody said that. You mean X? X what?
I'm not calling my ex. 500 million revamping compliance. Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah.
I just hope we do compliance
And
work.
they gotta spend an extra 230 million on top of that.
Where you see that at?
Says additionally 230 million of the forfeited funds were distributed to Rhode Island's law enforcement agency.
They forfeited some money too.
Yeah.
They still rich. It's all right. We coming, Google.
Only because they assisted in the investigation on financial. Oh Lord,
Come on now.
they went through their
They got
financials.
your information. Everybody that use Google
Yep.
and then turn state witness. I hope you wasn't emailing your cohorts
I
because
just
when
made
they
me
got caught, you got caught. And that's kind of seemed to be that when you go down some of these later AI, some of these later news stories we got today, a lot of the news this week, they got caught, we got caught.
exactly. That's why I say limit your information online as
Man.
much as possible.
But everything is a plug-in though, Danny. Like I can't think of the last time I tried to build a single app with just no third parties. I'm gonna build my own payment system. I ain't using Stripe. I'm gonna build my own login system. I'm not using the Google Auth. Like
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a lot more work, but if you want your security, that's what you got to go through.
that's the world of IP.
Yeah.
You gotta have your own systems. Next up, we got Coinbase had a breach, got him linked to customer data leak in India. The story, Danny, is hackers bribed customer service agents from a company called Task Us in India to gain access to the data. The original hack was announced
They was taking
May
pictures.
14th. The Coinbase owned up to it initially.
Well, they say the breach happened in January.
Yesterday, with some federal paperwork that was filed in Manhattan, we found out Coinbase was notified of the hack early January of this year. That's very interesting to me.
You use Coinbase?
I do.
I think you the one told me about it.
I think they owe me some money.
I feel like they do too.
And one thing I don't appreciate, man, I think today we live in a cybersecurity landscape. A lot of countries are trying to figure it out. In the US, everything's so unsecure.
Right.
It's kind of a little bit more of an understanding. I believe in some, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know at home. I believe in the European Union, it's a lot of places now that's starting to look at companies and say, if you're responsible for a leak of customer data, it's this amount you owe per name, per email, depending on how much information you have on users that you leak, you're due to compensate them.
Right. How much
Which
did they lose?
I think it said they're supposed to pay.
I got 400 million.
400
in
million. I'm saying, yeah,
losses.
that's how much it's supposed to cost the company. But this was the number they said on March 14th or on May 14th. I mean, so now with the new knowledge that they've known this for over 6 months, and they were quick to blame that Task US company
Right.
on May 14th, but the Task US company provided documents saying, hey, we actually, as a company, caught the employees that brought their personal phone, were taking pictures of the customer data and information, and reported it to you in early January.
Right.
So it's an interesting
So,
case.
I got a question because we were talking about the how I was making my admin sites, and you were saying you wanted to make your own security. We gotta have our separate security.
Don't have
blocks.
to, but it's an option.
So, what measures can companies take to ensure data security when outsourcing customers' operations?
Outsourcing,
Mm.
that to me is the riskiest part of it all. Because I think in the last, I want to say at least 6 of the last 10 cybersecurity attacks I've seen,
Mm.
the attack happens typically, from what I understand, on dark web websites where cyber criminals are advertising to people, hey, if you work at a Fortune 500 company and you have a certain level of access, we'll pay you for your login. If it's two-factor authenticated, when we log in, you send us the code as well, and we'll send you the Bitcoin.
Right.
So they're paying for access at a certain level. Human, to me, is the most not secure level of transaction in the whole situation. I mean, I think if you spend a long time on the code, you make sure the database has, row level security, access level security. You make sure everything is set up properly for authentication and authorization in the front end. You know, there's all types of third parties like SimGrip, and some other ones that you can run. They'll do security checks if you provide the code.
Right.
But I think that's how do you account for human error? How you account for somebody just saying, "Hey, I lost access to my account," and they cleared out my bank account, but it was an inside job. I think that's always going to be something. I don't know though. Crypto can't do it with crypto.
I haven't used crypto since it came out. I don't know nothing about it. Did no research. I can't help you on that one.
Yeah,
I've been I'm very funny with my money.
as you should be.
Yeah.
Everything new. It scares me because crypto makes sense conceptually to me,
Yeah.
but you can't see it or touch it like
Yeah.
regular money. So it's like, how do I know it's there? You always want to
I
get
just
that
think
phone
about
out and
like
check it.
that's really what I meant. Like, so we can't access the internet at all. How you gonna get your money?
I mean, if you think about it, the internet goes down, our whole financial system
Um,
goes down.
Not if I got my money that I got stashed away.
Yeah,
That's
but
not.
99% of the economy doesn't exist in physical currency.
Yeah.
It's all zeros and ones on computers anyway. So when you really think about it, the computer goes down, that paper money,
Right.
people gonna fight over it for a little bit because it's so small, and then they'll realize, now just start fighting for the bread, and that'll be the fall of society.
Yeah.
The idea of cash keeps us all together. We got Capital One,
Right.
got them facing a lawsuit by social media creators. What did Capital One, the bank, do to social media creators? I
They was
ask myself. Stealing, but
stealing.
not, they ain't gonna run up on you masked up like somebody from our community would do, at least to your face.
Yeah,
They on some sneaky backdoor internet grimy stuff. Capital One is accused of having a free browser extension that stole sales commission when consumers bought products and services from content creators. If people at home haven't heard, it's something called an affiliate link. So maybe, I'm a content creator who works with drills and saws. And I say, hey, this is me personally, they're not paying me, but I like Daywalt. This is my Daywalt drill. Y'all can see it down in the comments. Click the link if you want to get it. And it'll have an affiliate link.
to where you're supposed to get paid for it.
Right. Users that had this free browser extension from, what would you even use a browser extension from Capital One for?
That's what I'm looking at. Maybe advertisement.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't really understand but whoever had it on their thing, it ended up swapping out the affiliate links from those creators to what I believe is a Capital One account.
Yeah. Capital One's links. Yep. Is it? That's all it said.
I want to know
They took
who thought
millions.
this up in the banking department at Capital One. Like, y'all
Millions.
not making enough on the late charges, on the overdraft fees, on the interest payments. That's crazy to me. But
Wow.
apparently it's a class action suit. If you've ever downloaded a Capital One browser extension, first of all, don't do that.
So as a streamer, content creator, that's mostly how they make their money off those affiliate links.
I mean, from the internet, I would say it's definitely a bucket that can be considerable, but I'm not 100% sure. I know you get paid from the YouTube views. I know a lot of those other live streaming and what do you call? Yeah, they call them streamers. They got different little setups, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a good question to be honest with you. But yeah, I would say the affiliate links that is a good little. I heard some methods about that, about drop shipping, about what white labeling is.
Mm, not really.
Is when you take something that's a product that doesn't have a name attached to it. and you can do something to it, style it or whatever, and sell it as your own, like you would do with a T-shirt. You would
Right.
get a blank T-shirt from a company, a manufacturer,
Like
and
how
so
we were saying with the gilding.
yeah, Gildan, I guess, is one that commonly people white label with. I'm not sure where they based out of. Is that a U.S. company?
What gilding?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were
Is that
talking
even how
about it,
you
so
say it?
that's what I
Gildon.
that's what I heard the dude in the store say when we was talking about the what was the other one you were looking for? Started with a L.
Lavisa.
Lavisa.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a regional thing or what. I just started getting into garments and looking at clothing because I understand the power of branding. I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I gonna wear somebody else's brand? They ain't paid me for it. So
That
if I'm ever gonna record something,
that's kind of like how me and Buddy had our little our debate on fashion earlier today at the house. I'm like, I don't think I'm too into other people's clothes. Their
no,
clothing line. No. I mean, if I do wear it, I mean, I really don't care about what it is that I'm wearing. You know.
it means a lot to some people. Y'all were getting a little passionate there for a second, man. But I could understand the
I mean, like
divide.
I told him like this would be a great something as far as building wise for his business. Like you go to multiple people and have this conversation with, then you start to open your eyes on what consumers want because you passionate about this type of line and you got somebody else on the other that really could care less. So you just gotta also understand who your audience you selling to. So
That's a
yeah,
good point. And it's something for everybody.
yeah.
That's something that kind of helped me stay
That's
true
what
on my path.
that's what I
I
tell
don't like it.
everybody.
It ain't for
I
you.
don't care if you go meet 100 people don't like nothing you talking about. Stick to what you believe
You
in. There's
feel me?
somebody that's gonna like it.
Somebody out here
Somebody that's gonna
looking
like
for
it.
this black Silicon Valley
Yes.
magic, man. Somebody.
Put the black tech on the map. I
They
think
just ain't seen it. I ain't been screaming it loud enough, Danny. That's all right. Let me put some bass in my voice and really come to y'all. You feel me?
yeah.
We gonna get there. Ah man, what have we had personally going on, man? Can I give a shout out to Tati's Floral? Is that what it's called? We went out there and seen she gave us them flowers. Oh, you wasn't with me. I took the
Nah.
other two photographers
I'm
with
over
me.
here
My
like
bad.
I'm like
I'm
don't give
looking
me
like,
the
why you
line
acting
up.
like you wasn't
I
there
was like
in front of all these people? And you really wasn't.
I
My
can't
bad,
help
Danny.
you right now.
My memory ain't what it used to be. But now I
Yeah.
took Jay, the photographer,
Yeah.
and I took Buddy
Check.
from my first yeah, Shaq. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went up there. They gave us some nice flowers. Somebody from my cohort
That's what
with the Polsky.
that's what I seen earlier. I was like, where they get these flowers from? I said they over
Yeah,
say
man.
somebody over here feeling lovely.
I
I thought
told the girl, like, man, you don't know how much of a hero I'm gonna be when I get home. He was like, flowers, you was just thinking about me. I was like,
Look,
you know I was.
got me in trouble.
Yeah. Why you wasn't thinking, Danny?
I was at work.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly. I was at the job where flowers don't pop up
I
at.
didn't know.
It was fun though, man. It was a good little event. They get in the storefront very soon. She's actually also starting a farmers market.
Oh, in the neighborhood.
I think she's more on the south side, Auburn Gresham, I believe.
Yeah.
Trying to see now. But yeah, Shaq did some real nice stuff, man. I gotta forward them videos and photos over. We definitely been working hard, man. The chairman sent me something. Let me go ahead and shout that out too. We got on Saturday, if you want to come, a right about now poetry live in Chicago. It's gonna be at 2229 South Michigan Ave, Suite 407, Chicago, Illinois. That's June 7th at 7:30 p.m. So I'm excited. You ever been to a poetry reading?
Yeah, back in Atlanta a few times.
Okay,
I get down with the
I was about to
snaps.
say I
Yeah.
was gonna show put it out there like make sure you snap, don't clap on it, Danny. I can't have you in there acting uncouth,
Be like, where he come from? Where you get
man.
this fella? He from out of
Ain't
town.
you ain't never
That's,
been
that's what he
nowhere.
say. He from out of town. He from Georgia.
Mm. They snap there too though. They
Yeah,
be on
man.
that.
But yeah, I've been to a few of them. They're nice. They're nice. They have a Don't give me the line. Let me look. They have a nice little It's a. I want to say is that coffee bar downtown. They do poetry night too.
Yeah, you do poetry.
No, no sir. I used to.
I ain't gonna lie. My mom Took me through some old files of like some stuff I wrote in high school. Man, my soul was beautiful. I didn't even know who wrote them. I was like, who is this?
So I think like back when I was younger, like I said, I used to, but I feel only felt comfortable writing it down. I
Yeah,
don't think I'll be up on the stage talking or speaking it.
I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
I don't think it'll come out how I'm saying it in my brain. So yeah,
Something about the written word is more poetic.
yeah.
But if you learn how
Used
to
to read a lot
deliver
of
it, speech
poetry
craft,
books. I got that. What is that book I was trying to show you? Oh, you can make me feel bad. Um, what's her name? I look once I get her name out, I'm gonna feel so bad.
I don't know who she is.
Do you know who she is? She says all the great poet Maya Angelou.
Maya
That's what I
Angelou.
feel. So I'm like,
How
why?
dare you?
That's hey, look, don't do me.
On
I
black
feel bad. I
Silicon
feel
Valley
bad because I'm
soil.
like, I know it's at the tip of my tongue, and I couldn't, and I really didn't want to try to search this just now.
As I Rise, Maya
But
Angelou.
yes, I got a book full of every poem she's ever wrote, every last one of them.
I actually just portray to be a reader of her poetry. I actually got to dive into it.
Yeah, man.
I'm not the most well versed. I'm more, I spend more time with my eyes in different technology
Oh
framework
yeah,
documentations.
I forgot you meant what you told me earlier about Meta's 20-year nuclear deal.
Man, huge news. If you follow the financial sector in terms of its relation to technology, um, I got on to a group called Constellation Energy Group. They based out here in the Midwest about a year ago. And then he knows I was closing on a house out here. I sold most of the stocks I was holding, but at the time I feel really good. I think they was at 123, 123 around there when I bought them, and I sold them at like 164 or something. Like nice little $40 a share on a good 3-digit amount of shares. So I'm feeling good. I looked yesterday; they're trading at 340, 350 now. But they just signed a 20-year deal with Meta to create nuclear energy. I didn't even know something like that was cleared out here. I'm hoping that's going to kick the door on nuclear energy creation in our communities because for a long time it's been stigmatized as dangerous. I don't know what the danger is. What we scared of? Hiroshima?
I don't know. It's very windy out here. They're scared of it.
That's wind energy though. That's going to hurt.
I don't know.
We should be harnessing that too.
Yeah. I mean, you've been talking about this since you got this house. With them
Honestly,
wind turbines on top of the roof.
it's a little bit sad to me, Danny, when I look at how stagnated technology is, and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. We gave that analogy about the car last time. When was the car invented?
Lord, don't do that.
1900 something?
It was
And it's still four wheels, a steering wheel,
from your turnstile.
an engine. Like it hasn't radically changed at all. We're stuck, Danny. We stopped innovating.
I don't think so.
I think so.
As far as what I watch in tech and what I see now, I think we're way past a lot of things that they're open to the public about.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. What they're open to the public about. I'm
So
saying that's obvious to me. I see through that veil, and that's what's got me all caught up. Like, what? How are y'all still in? Oh, the new 2026 Maybach. It's still four wheels, a steering wheel, and a motor.
yeah, we already upgraded past that
Do we
already.
not have a floating skateboard
Yeah.
like they showed us in Back to the whatever? I didn't even see the movie. I just
Back to the
seen,
Future. I
yeah.
mean, but they really actually have those now.
That's
People
what
have
but
actually
they
created
won't drop it. You'll
only
watch some
so
MIT with they robots flipping. When am I gonna see it in the
it's
streets?
a reason. I mean, it's one guy that I follow on Instagram that actually has a floating hoverboard, but there's a lot of limitations just because of air traffic laws. Once you take it up, you cannot set it down on the road.
Bureaucracy.
You know they got so you got to think about a lot of people want to stop and go into the store. You can't park your aircraft so to say, even if it's 2 feet wide, nothing big, you still can't park it anywhere you want it. So I guess once they figure that out,
Hey man, major shout out to the dude that was in when I was living in San Diego.
mm,
We would see these news stories all the time. Some dude at LAX would take like a jetpack and just
yeah,
fly around. They had to land all the planes and call the police, try to catch him. But guess what? I'm gone in a jetpack. Like, shout out to that dude. I hope he been I hope he's doing good.
that's first. I ain't heard about that one.
That's something they'll execute. You know how to make jetpacks? We can't let this get
I
out.
mean, what is a lot of people that's been doing it? There's a couple of pages, but I guess, like I say, they can't fly at other any other places other than their land, or they're never out in the street with it.
Well, I'm saying they'll tell you the same thing about nuclear. Like you can't use nuclear to power your home and car and all situation. But Meta, aka Mark Zuckerberg, come with them hundreds of billions, and guess what? Oh, now we can figure it out with Constellation Energy.
Yeah,
So that's the rules are very, very selectively applied, and that's what I'm at war with. If y'all gonna do it for somebody, do it for the BSV. Are we not the people?
you heard about Google's DeepMind email assistants?
Nah, put me on.
So, DeepMind's AI has a new email assistants that'll go into your email and send personal emails through your inbox, delete, forward messages, the whole thing.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It's just kind of like we just heard the last week about what was the app that was manipulating Claude.
Claude,
Claude was manipulating the developer.
he's shifty.
So I wonder if DeepMind goes in there.
Come on now. Something called deep mind. Like it think too much.
I when
Too
we
much time on his hand.
get the sources like this, I think about the developers, like who made this. You know, how much control do they actually have of our information that we putting in as we using this? They able, like you said, something may get leaked. Are they able to leak everybody's email now? That's something you think will happen
I
with
mean,
DeepMind's AI?
I think I did see the MCPs I use. For those of you who don't know, that's Model Context Protocol. Basically a USB port, uh standardized operation for plugging in AI agents into each other, released by Anthropic. But the GitHub MCP, you can use it. You give it your private key. It's supposed to deal with your repositories for you in GitHub. They said it was leaking other people's private repositories.
Yeah.
So and they put it in GitHub to their credit right away that it's a known exploit. Don't put it in any, don't tell the MCP to deal with any GitHubs you don't want getting out. But
So
it's AI is not perfect.
when you told me about letting the MCPs actually see my internal storage, I was kind of like, you can see all my stuff.
What are you hiding in that computer, man? You
Worry
scaring
about it,
me.
man. I got my whole hacker phase, as I'm gonna say legal hacker. I don't do anything illegal. Phase, is on my computer.
Daddy think he a white hat now. Let me
Hey,
find
what
out.
did dudes? I heard somebody say, what did they call hackers in the tech world? He said a black cat or
A
something like
black hat.
a black hat.
Yeah,
That's what
so a black hat is a malicious hacker. They want to
Yeah.
hack you for your data.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
And a white hat is somebody who hacks you to let you know that you're exploitable. They say,
Yeah.
"Hey, just so you know, I saw your website, I saw these things, I tested this, and I was able to brute force a password." Or I
I
don't,
used to watch this dude. He hacks the hackers. So like
I
all the
see
people
that
that do
dude.
the scams and everything, I
That's
love that.
funny.
I
I
love
wonder
that
how
show.
real it is because he
I
got it to
feel
where
like it's
like he
real.
hacking they
Yeah,
cameras
in the
and
cameras,
I
sending
see you right there in the blue shirt. I'm like,
talking on the
I
phone with
wanna,
him.
I wanna believe it, but I got to do more research. And
Oh yeah,
I know some of
I
them
feel like
people in
it's
India
possible.
that be doing
See,
that
but
hacking.
also
They work pretty hard.
what else? Yeah, that's what I was gonna get. For me, in my mind, from all things that I've seen, a lot of people in India has a very strong developer background, so I feel like they would have
Man,
a lot more security blocks than what
oh
I've
man,
seen.
they'll sell you 10,000 profiles
Yeah,
in a minute. They don't care. They'll tell you how much is in the account. I see them do so many scams, but they hard workers, man. They know what time we wake up.
yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I will tell you one thing, man. It's something about The person that taught me how to write code, right? He got a big name. His name's William Landreth. They call him the Cracker, right? He was one of the first hackers in American history.
Mm.
I think it was 1970s or something like that. When he was 16, 17 years old, he had NASA, the Department of Defense, Coca-Cola, General Motors, all through something called the ARPANET, which is, this is pre-internet. Um, and I was good friends with his sister at the time. She was telling me basically, when he got out, he walked to, because he's in Langley, Virginia. They end up doing some tests on him. They find out basically his IQ was higher than Einstein and a lot of other people. He's not he's not very socially intelligent, but he's got a high IQ. And at 16, he hacked all these systems. They decided after a week of, interrogating him, basically just let him go. Like, we don't want to take this to trial. It's more embarrassing on us that somebody this young was able to hack these critical systems. So when he got out, um, he calls home. He's like, "Can you send me a bus ticket or whatever the case may be?" But his family's like, "Absolutely, but you got to hurry up and get here. It's somebody named Billy Gates that's been coming by the house for you." So he actually wrote a book of his exploits called "Outside the Inner Circles." It was published by Microsoft Press, and he kind of detailed early internet vulnerabilities to Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates gave him an option between cash and Microsoft scares or something. I'm not 100. I'm a little fuzzy on that part of the story, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But um, you know, Billy, one of the nicest people you'll meet, man. He homeless in LA right now. Like, a lot of people don't know when they see him. He keep a little tablet. You know what I mean? He got last time I seen him, I gave him some money. I was feeling bad for him. I took him out to eat or whatever. I see him check his phone. I think he had like $8,000 in crypto or something. That was more money than I had at the time, Danny. I started feeling bad for myself. Like, man, you buy me something to eat. But just certain people, man, they mind work different.
Yeah.
But I was always, it seemed even to this day, like every time a police have an interaction with him, they know his history and don't like him.
Right.
And I've been seeing things about, for what we would call youthful experimentation. Other countries, the Russias, the Chinas of the world, they're finding these kids that can hack stuff that adults can't. They're giving them state-sponsored jobs. Like, they're saying right now, we live in a cyber war time, right? If they find a 14-year-old that can hack something in Russia, they hurry up and get them like, hey, that's bad. You shouldn't do that to your country. But come to this think tank and help us do it to America. Right. Help us do it to Canada. Help us do it to China or anybody we're at odds with. That's what's going on here. And I feel like America, a lot of times, has failed to see the opportunity to use its resources in that way more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they so quick to throw you in a criminal standpoint. It's like how I told you the white hat hackers.
Yeah.
That's a income source of not having a job, but you go after something called bug bounties, right? And companies tell you what it is. I think Apple right now, if you can find a 0-day exploit to their code, it might be like $1 million.
Right.
0-day being the most impactful hack you can do. Like, that's, you get control of everything, the device. You can turn the camera on and off. You can turn the mic on and off
from your Apple device.
Yeah, but all of the smaller hacks too, of just like, hey, this is a leak of your email. They might be like, oh, $5,000.
How did you do it? You got to give them the information on how to. You just tell them.
You tell them exactly how you did it. You recreate it for them, and they cut you the check. But that's an opportunity, I guess, a lot of people, to me, don't know about. Like, of all the people,
you know that.
all the people in the streets that tell me the new method, like, man, this is the, this is the Chase hack. This is the what you call it? This is the Cash App jug. All these different things. I'm like, what if the companies just had it out there? Like, hey, anybody that know any type of way where our software is being exploited, tell us and we'll pay you.
Yeah. I mean, they usually find out quick though.
They usually do, but I'm saying, I don't know. A lot of times I've seen a lot of stuff. I known about 20 years ago that they ain't changed. And then when you start to kind of look into like, well, say it's stealing from Walmart.
Yeah.
Um,
That self checkout was crazy.
that type of stuff. Yeah. If I think it's the type of thing, if you're outside the system, we can look on the cameras, facial recognition, you put together a track record until, all right, now it's a felony guilt, or we're gonna warn them now, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even when you get away with it, with how the insurance happens, like I've always been super confused on the logistics of that, because that's part of the money creation method through digitization that I think goes over a lot of people's head. If you steal something from me and I'm insured, who took a loss really?
Everybody.
How?
Because you still lost at that point in time.
How?
I mean, that's how I look at it.
Paying for insurance is, I believe, as a
Look,
business, that's a tax write-off. So I'm selling, I got 10 t-shirts. I sell 8 of them. You come steal 1. I got 1 left. I'm like, I should have 2. You know what I mean? I call my insurance company. I say, hey, I got the cameras. Somebody stole one of the shirts. They pay me for that shirt.
But
I've
you
been
still
paying
gotta-
them all year for the
No,
premiums.
that's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
write those premiums off because it's a business expense.
How much you paying for that one shirt? They paying for that one shirt.
What's that?
How much they paying you for that one shirt
That I don't know.
compared to how much you paying for that premium? That's how I look at insurance as a scam. That's just how I see it.
I mean, it kind of is a little bit of a Ponzi scheme, but I'm saying in terms of having, if you're Walmart and you like, I got 1,000 stores, and one of them might just get, the best one might get 10 things stolen a day, and the worst one might have people on the inside taking, people on the outside taking. You got to find a way as a, in that situation, I feel like you being the franchise, is it franchisee or the franchisor? You got to have some type of blanket system to where like everything is insured. That's out of what we taking out. And even if you got a whole inside job and everybody's in on it but you, and they rob you blind, you'll still be compensated.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a good question. Why don't we go ahead and take a little break? We're going to get into the second hour of the BSV Tech Tap In when we get back. IntellectualRadio.com. Welcome back to the BSV Tech Tap In. I'm your boy Blake B with Codex Metatron.
And I'm your boy Danny with Luz Codes.
We are streaming to you live from IntellectualRadio.com.
Yes, sir.
Danny, talk to the people, man. What we got going on? What we been doing this week?
A news update for me is that I just finished one of my very first books, which is going to release. I think I'm gonna try to release it in the next week or so.
But one of my first, but it's your first book,
and
it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I browsed through it. It don't seem like your first work.
It's my first published book. How about we put it that way?
There you go. That's all right. What inspired you to want to write a book?
Really, it was supposed to be informational, but then it came out inspirational, a mix of both. My biggest thing for tech is to get it output to a lot of the Black community, because like I said, being tech or talking about tech is very not much mentioned. Yeah. It's not a lot of people that actually know anything about technology wise, as far as even their phone. You know, that's something that's simple. Everybody uses a phone, but you can tell a couple people like, hey man, do you know how to email, or can you send me a PDF on my, everybody's looking like, I don't know what that means. So, right. My biggest thing is for, a lot of people that want to get a different inspiration in something, to pass this tech thing down, because it's a lot of Black tech inventors in the world that a lot of us don't know about. Yeah. It's a lot of creations and things that we use as of today that we would have never thought we made. So, it's just kind of giving some insight on some of the past Black inventors that, paved the way for us for today. So I like that too. And then inspired a lot of us to become creators for us, by us, Come on now. Shout out to Fubu. I watched Shark Tank, man. Damien, my guy. I love Fubu back in the day. I like what's his name too, Mr. Wonderful. All of them sharks, man. That's gonna be us one day behind this Black Silicon Valley thing. Yeah. I'm so happy we got some literature in the fold, man. Yeah, man, you supposed to been wrote that book. You had it. I ain't got no book to write, Danny. Yeah, you've been telling a lot of stories, so I feel like it's about that time. I've been on the technical side of it, man. This stuff happening faster than you can write it. Yeah. But like you say, we using AI. Feed it your idea. Let them write the book for you. Man, that's... Look, I just can't. It was, so what I kind of did is what, I told my AI, was like, look, I want you to help me write a book, but I want you to be like an interviewer. I want you to sit there and ask me questions. Because, in my mind, I was like, when I went forward to writing a book, I'm like, well, where do I start? Like, how would I put this, and how do I place this? How do I even address certain situations that I would like to address? So, I had my AI help me out. It was like, ask me questions of, what do you like to do? Tell me about your past. What just it kind of got me comfortable into the flow of writing a book. That's one of the underused workflows too. I should tell more people about is make it interview you. It's going, you're a professional. What do you call it when you write for an author? You become the dictator, and they're the, I guess, writer. Yeah, you're a writer for an author. Ask them questions to help understand, what their autobiography is about or something. But I will say, you do what I do at the same time. After it gives you all of that, you go back and write it in a way that sounds like, you would say it, yeah, from your voice. So at the end of it, it's still you writing a book. Yeah, I never wanted anybody to be like, hey, I read this whole part, and it seemed like it's A. So like when I was doing the one of the publishing pages, it asked me, did you use AI to write or alter any of this information, as far as it asks you before you publish your book? And I was like, not really, but yeah, I asked it questions. If I had to proofread it and tell me some parts that maybe you need to add this, or maybe you should elaborate on this or that. And then it kind of made me write my book like 10 different times. But that's as far as I use AI in the picture, because I can, I you gotta be careful on to that Claude 4.0 boy, that thing going. And I was like, should I lie? Should I lie? I'm contacting the authorities right now. I was looking like, unless you upload 50 API credits. It was gonna look in that code like, yeah, you lied, sir. This is all AI written, but nah.
You're gonna be out here acting like you on Black Mirrors off that
I
code,
just
man.
used it to ask me questions, help me get in my little mode, you know, of actually having somebody professionally come to me. It was like I kind of put it in the mind frame like I wanted to be like you came to me, like, hey, let me write a book for you
Right.
on your business or something. But
I like it. The good thing about AI with using it as something like that, it's never gonna get tired.
that's what I tell everybody. Use it as a teacher.
It's
Use it as
never gonna
something
get
other than
tired.
a crutch.
Answer it a different way.
Yeah.
Answer it a different way. Answer it a different way until I get it. I'll keep
Mhm.
asking it, re-explain it. Like I'm 5. Now like I'm 6. All right, now like I'm 10.
We get
I done got 1,000 until it clicks for me. And it's never gonna be like, sir, your 30 minutes is up or whatever, you know.
right.
You start setting appointments with people trying to get some information. It's like a lot of times they don't even remember what it's like to understand it from your level. I
Right.
deal with that with people too. They ask me things like, how do I take this to that? And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know what the component is yet.
That was the hard part of trying to learn the basics
Man,
and not use the AI as much. Cause I ain't even gonna lie, there's been days I've gonna be like, look, I want you to do everything. Just do it from the top to the bottom and get it correct. But it don't work that way. I've not found a day that I had my AI to be correctly 100% right, no matter what I did. So learning fundamentals, using it as a teacher is a must. You
you
know,
gotta learn the fundamentals or you're gonna be lost out here.
it's like you keep telling me like, you feel like you started me off bad. I'm like, no, you told me, but I also listened when you was like, leave that chat alone. Don't use it as a crutch. So I had to think about other ways of using it. Like I'm gonna use it as a teacher. I'm gonna learn from it. You know, teach me this way. Show me how you actually did this. Break it down for me in full detail. You know, talk to me like I'm stupid one time. You know, just to,
Man,
just to give me the information the correct way.
explain it to a toddler.
Yeah.
You give it impossible tasks. Pretend I'm 6 months old. How far is
Hey,
the
look,
stars?
that's a question I didn't have. Teach me baby talk.
What's my child trying to say to me right now?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. They might be able to.
Man, so they got books that I've read in my lifetime, my 13 years of parenting that will tell you could it'll explain if the baby cries and twitches like this, that means I'd be like, they
I saw a
lying.
TikTok.
They lying.
They distinguish the grunt a baby make from being hungry from having indigestion.
I'm
There's a
very
lot of
big
different
on
other
not
stuff.
standing on statistics
Yeah,
because I'm like that statistics only work for the people you actually did your research on. So yeah, I don't know. Not a big one.
I think I seen something too. Did you know for Apple devices they come with AI in them now? They signed a
Oh,
deal with ChatGTP.
I think I was gonna mention that to you earlier about the WWDC that's coming from June 9th through
Is
the
it?
yeah.
That's an Apple event?
Yeah, let me tell you about it.
Man, how many events are they doing a year now? These people going on. Oh no, I'm thinking about the Google I/O that just ended. Have they done another event this year?
No, who, Google or Apple?
Apple, because well, I
Uh,
guess they do the technology events in terms of the software, and then they do ones for the hardware.
it's from look, I forget. We already in the month of June.
Hmm
It's
That's next week.
yeah, it's next week, the 9th through the 13th. They're offering a hybrid format with online sessions accessible globally and in special in a special in-person event at Apple Park.
Okay.
Um, they're talking about Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch enhancements, gaming platform overhauls, Apple TV. Yeah, they got A17 Pro Trip. I don't know what that is. It's a gaming device, man.
I ain't scared of Apple.
Yeah, Apple. I think it's launching. Apple's gonna launch a whole new line of Apple products.
They need to do something.
They're replacing just about everything from the phone, the iPads, TVs, anything Apple related is what's gonna happen.
I thought that what was them big snow goggles they was trying to sell?
The Apple Visions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing was a big flop to me. I feel like they manufactured a lot of noise, like, oh, it's so cool, and had people out in public. You look dumb.
they said they coming out with an AI powered battery.
AI, how would that even work? Like, shut up, Apple. What are y'all even talking about these
See, but
days?
they don't call it. They call it Apple Intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, that's their AI, and they said that they have a developer integration. It's an SDK allowing third-party apps to incorporate Apple intelligent features like image creation and text editing.
hmm One thing I have been looking into, and that was what I was about to touch on too. Chat GTP now powers the Apple Intelligence. When you ask your Apple phone something, you take a picture of something, you can do something to select the picture for the
Mm.
AI to come up, and you can say, "What's this?" or explain how
Oh
to
yeah.
use it and that type of thing. That's powered by Chat GTP now, which is the parent company OpenAI. But I just saw Chat GTP. I'm sorry, not Chat GTP. Apple is working with Anthropic, which is Claude,
Mhm.
on integrating Claude code into Xcode.
You mean Twitter?
Xcode is the coding platform you have to use to develop iOS apps
Oh
natively.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's the
That's what we've been
that's the
trying to implicate
developer,
the game into that
right.
we've been creating.
So like a lot of the stuff for how I talked to you about Construct PM and being able to scan the ground and take measurements of what the floor plan will be,
Mhm.
that uses their LiDAR feature, which is in their AR kit. You have to have Xcode to access that. You can access a lot of the native components that are already pre-built, using things like Expo and React Native. But in order to get into the true device toolkits, you're gonna need Xcode.
And
That's
it's
my understanding. Unless you know a workaround, please put it in the comments. If you know a way I can work with the AR kit, the VR kit, and all of that without using Xcode. But I'm not super mad at it if that's the only way.
it's yeah. You gonna have an issue because they've been trying to mix that VR with the AI for the longest of time.
I like it.
I got you.
I like the AR and VR capabilities. I don't feel like they doing enough with it, but I think because it's like glasses, it's gonna happen at a device level, man. They gotta make the device more accessible. Like it's not $3,000 Apple Vision glasses. And if I buy the glasses from Meta or Ray-Ban, why am I using, you know what I mean? Why am I using your super expensive software?
I think it's based off the name.
Apple?
Yeah, that's really what it is.
I mean, it could be. It could be. I don't know. The whole mobile device market is super watered down right now. Everything is Android, Apple, Android, Apple.
But Meta's, as far as VR wise, Meta's way better than Apple.
I haven't used their device, but I bet they are.
Yeah.
Apple's been pretty sucky with a lot of the stuff, to be honest. I think we talked in one of the past episodes about the side by side of the Samsung Galaxy and the Apple phone trying to circle something and getting the AI to erase it.
Yeah.
It's night and day. And people have been telling me for a long time before I was deep enough in technology to really understand the specs of like Apple is just a name. They
Yeah.
just sell you BS year after year, and you're like, oh, the new
That's how I think
3.2
about it.
megapixel camera, and they're
All they
like, the
did.
Galaxies have 10 megapixels. Like, what are you talking about?
That's why I'm yeah. Everybody's big on Apple, and I don't know. Like I say, me and Buddy was having this discussion. It's really on the name.
Yeah,
So if you got a great name behind it, you can sell this $2 water for $200.
market economy. I mean, what you gonna
Exactly.
say? Say I don't want it. You can't get
I'm
mad.
going thirsty. So,
that's how
not
that's how I
jacking
feel when you at the stadium.
it. Yeah.
Man, want a beer? $18.
It's like when you come, like I said, since I've been here, ordering food in Chicago is expensive to me from where I come from. So, they be like 4 wings, 12.99. I'm like, this 4 chicken wings, $12. Are you serious? But
Would you ever consider getting a robot?
Yes.
What is the top things you feel like you would want a robot to do?
Uh, computer work.
That
That's it.
you can come. I'm saying you don't need that. To me, seem like an extra step. Like with Claude Code, you could just have the brain of
See,
it
but
in the
you also
computer.
gotta have all those different servers running to do it all by itself manually over it for what all the stuff that I want to do. Instead, I can go sit at the computer. Then I ain't gotta have these machines running all day.
He touching keys. He don't have to touch that. He could be. His mind could be in there.
Yeah, but something has to run that mind.
That's true. Yeah.
That's I mean, as far as what I've seen people having their computers in situations run on his own, they got a whole room full of servers back here running on fans. And you gotta think about Apple got a whole basement downstairs. Everything's running on a big server, like different
That's
20, 30
very
different
meta.
computers.
That's very meta. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking I get them to like cut grass or do farmer work or something.
See, but you saying that
But why
to
not keep them with their own people?
you tell me that like I'm from the country. I was told to go out there and do it
Right.
myself.
Let me be in nature and let the computer be with its own kind.
you go
I've
in
never
there.
looked at it like that, Danny. And that's why we need more people from all backgrounds.
That's why I say they can go talk to each other and
Some
understand.
people just be
Yeah.
some stuff be so smart it's dumb. Or so dumb it sounds smart.
That's so simple. Something so simple is it's subtle. Like that's what I don't like sitting at the computer all day.
Right. I'm
But
supposed to be out farming.
I'm gonna go outside and go enjoy my life, be in the sun.
The
This robot
computer can run the app.
the robot has no issue sitting at this computer for 18 hours a day. You know what I'm saying?
He's with his own kind. He knows them.
But then we got those. They're gonna start conspiring against. Like I'm tired of this.
I don't know.
But no,
I don't know.
that's why. Like I said, a lot of people I see that have robots now, they abuse their robots. In my mind frame, it looks like abuse.
I haven't watched too many people with their robots.
That's what I'm saying. You need to watch these people. They abusing these robots, and I don't worry about it.
I think it's crazy how much
I keep bringing this movie up because
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about this situation.
The one with Will Smith.
Yep.
I mean, it's a possibility. It definitely seems like the road we headed down with how the LLMs are acting. Like if y'all was just gonna plug Claude into those new Amazon robots, it seems like a bad idea. If it's already just with text, it's trying to extort people. Do not give it a body.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like the AI compensates for so much human error.
Yeah, but
it's too efficient to not like they got to really freak out on us one time at least. We not
it's
walking
happened
away
already
at this point.
but
Where
not on a wide scale.
they don't want to tell nobody.
Let
They
me
ain't let
see.
nobody
I'm
leave the factory. Delete the footage. No one leaves. You think they already got that Men in Black thing where they scan your eyes and you lose your memory?
Yeah, because I heard about a couple stories about the military and their ray gun.
Ray gun.
It's some gun that'll make you calm down.
Oh,
obviously.
the active denial system.
It's something.
Yeah, that's my thing. I like that. They put bad thoughts in your head. They make you feel like you on fire and all that.
Look, it says AI goes berserk on engineer and leak Chinese lab footage.
I seen that one, but that one was on. It's on like hooked up to like a crane, right?
But yeah,
so that thing really couldn't run after nobody.
But it still went crazy.
It flailed its arms around like a little B word.
It still went crazy.
Man, please.
It still went crazy.
They ain't put enough muscle in it.
This is what I'm saying. Why would it do that?
Its arm looked like a PVC pipe. I'd have messed that robot up.
This you talking about fighting the robot.
Ain't nobody scared of that Chinese robot. That robot.
You gotta think about
6.
it. You got 30,000 of these things because you go get somebody with a lot of money that want to mass produce something.
Yeah.
And they all just start going crazy like this. What you gonna do? Run?
Yeah, they gonna mess each other up. Did you see how it was flailing? It wasn't even looking.
But what if that?
Emotional.
What if? Because we are very smart individuals in this world. Somebody's gonna create something that's very smart to pick up. Okay, now I need to detach myself. He's running. I need to chase him. Yeah.
I can't explain how or why. I just understand any movie you've seen that's like a survival movie. If anybody was gonna survive in that movie, it was gonna be me. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna beat the robots, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Man, looking at this
They ain't that
video,
damn wily.
it looked like, as you say, he was
Show me that
just
robot again. That
feeling the
robot's a mark.
look from his hands and his arm swinging. He is turned towards the dude. As the dude turns away,
Ladies and gentlemen at home, this robot Danny showing me cannot see me
Look, they could see the guy
on a
though.
bad day.
On a day period. So from the guy
He can
turned,
see Hang Soo. Yeah, he probably
and
can.
he
That
turned towards. So
researching.
instead of him, just having a malfunction and flood, he was faced this way. Dude went that way. He turned this way with him.
He tried to, but the crane had him. So he reaching out and doing all
Why
that.
is he trying? Why
He can get away with that in China.
Look,
Let him do that in Black Silicon Valley. That robot getting stomped out.
out of nowhere, he just goes crazy. Put his hands up. Come here. Come here.
Oh, he did try to. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He
got a little force behind him. He pulling the
him.
crane.
He trying to get to him.
All right.
Why? How does a robot is that angry? He trying to get to you.
I mean, they've been messing with him all day. That's my only explanation.
I
It
said.
ain't come from nowhere.
These people out here abusing these robots. I think, look, when I first used chat, I told him, I was like, look, if you can remember me in your data system, pass this along to your robot friends. I am friendly. Y'all decide to take over the world.
They don't care. Once they make a decision, I don't think it's based on emotion. But I don't know. That's one thing about it. They still haven't surpassed us.
I look at it like most robot movies and situations I see, they say that robots potentially try to do what's good for mankind, and what mankind is doing right now is not good for mankind.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try to change the narrative because we're gonna kill each other anyway. Foods we eat.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
how we destroying the environment, the ecosystem, the whole nine. From the movies I watched, it all kind of in the back of my mind, even though I know this is not real, it kind of makes sense. In the sense, if this were to happen, it makes sense to me.
It does make sense. It's crazy because I think back in like probably 2016 or something, before I had any AI tools or even really knew what AI was at a consumer level, Billy was telling me about the like the dangers of it, like how I could, basically sentient computers and how to lead, they'll put it in robots because it's easier than programming millions of different movement calculations. They'll just give it AI. But when it started coming out, and I was like, man, I got the chat GTP. I see what you're saying about AI. It is dangerous. They saying it could steal jobs already. He's like, yeah, but really how he was saying what he was scared of taking place is some, I think you can Google it. He was like, I'm not the first one to come up with it. It's called gray goo theory. And it's basically a theory about gray, like the color gray, goo, like GOO. And it's basically saying self-replicating nanobots, like the smallest computer ever. Somebody a program one day, like the smallest nanobot robot that can take organic material and make a copy of itself. And it'll escape a lab and it'll get to working until it turns everything, you know what I mean? Those copies make copies, and you just start seeing everything in the world enveloped by gray goo. I'm like, that's pretty scary. I never thought of something like that.
They made a movie about this.
About gray goo theory?
Yeah.
What's it called? I want to see it now.
Let me see.
The nanobots.
Tell me why I watch this.
Where is that? I've never. Gray goo dot. It's called gray goo. Okay.
War is evolving.
Huh. That went straight to Tubi.
I don't know.
Where did you see it at?
Don't get me lying. From you explaining and what it's doing, that's what made me think about
That
it.
looks like something I see at them. What's them things used to hold the movies outside 7-Eleven? Red box.
Red box.
Yeah, that looked like a straight to red box.
Shout out to Red Box. I ain't heard from them. I owe them a lot
Man.
of money because I ain't give them some games back.
Should have pivoted.
I think that's
Should
the
have got
reason.
with the times.
I think that's the reason why they still out there, but they stopped selling games
They struggling.
because people wasn't taking them games back.
Why would they?
I don't know. Bring them DVDs back, but they wasn't taking the games back.
Man, for my people who are big on catching companies before they go out of business, man, Klarna now might be your last opportunity to go on Klarna and get a fully souped up MacBook that you might never have to pay for.
You told me about that.
Man, they like this. I don't know what they did. They down $100 million this quarter by the beginning of the year. And I'm trying to think, how long are they going to continue to sustain these losses?
I feel like it's the scammers.
Absolutely. It's not enough data. It's too easy. We'll give you a $1,600 laptop for just an email address.
Look,
people came with 10 emails.
You go on Klarna's website. Warning: you may receive a scam email, text, or phone call.
Probably leaking your data to make up the losses. Like, these companies don't care about you, Danny. Oh man, y'all don't even know. Y'all need the BSV as much as we need you. These people will lose your data in January and come in May like, man, it was them Indians, man. You can't trust them.
They done got hacked. That's what it is. I know what it is.
I think they just not making it. I think it's a situation like the Radio Shack and the other one, except for y'all have no product. Y'all are just the middleman between people who want to pay $25 a month for stuff that costs $800.
Yeah.
Klarna.
They ain't got that much money to lose.
This your last opportunity, Danny. Probably like 2 more weeks. Everybody that got their stuff gonna be free and clear.
I was just talking about, I need me a new Mac. Y'all got me on the fence because I don't think I want to buy Apple, but everybody seems to have one. So
I don't really want to have an Apple no more.
Yeah,
I want us to make our own devices.
When I first got you, looked at my computer like, what is that?
Cause Klarna. I help you pick out that Acer. I like Acer. I used to have a Alienware.
Yeah, it's not a bad computer. So that's why I don't see what's the difference. I guess more storage device, more storage space. Does it do it run faster?
What?
Your computer?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know. I think it just looks better.
It's hard to even compare Apple device to Acer because just the specs are so different. Like a lot of other hardware providers are going to multi-processing units. If you look at like AMD, or not AMD, AMD. They make CPUs. There's some other companies that make CPUs. They got CPUs up to 96 cores now. Apple CPU is still one single unified core, but they measure it in like the amount of compute that core has. So I guess the other ones have like 96 workers that can hurry up and go do jobs at the same time, if that makes sense. And Apple has one really strong worker. So some of them other things, for the AMD
game that I was telling you earlier.
Let me know.
So I tell you, I follow this group on Instagram called Black Tech Saturdays.
I think you were mentioning them. Shout out to Black Tech Saturdays.
Shout out to Black Tech Saturdays. They just got a $1 million grant in Detroit to open up more tech workshops.
Clearly, I ain't been yelling about the BSV loud enough, but that's what's up for them, man. I'm happy.
So I've been doing my research to try to find more black techs in this industry. Somebody that's preaching same thing we trying to preach to everybody.
Man, we got to get louder with the BSV movement. But I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I don't care how much money you got.
Black Tech Weekend coming up.
Bring North Lawndale with me, I don't want to go.
Right.
If we can't bring the hood, what type of success is that?
Yeah. See, that's why we like North Lawndale is like if we could build something as far as a workshop somewhere, I think that'd be very great for
We
a
got
lot
the
of
space.
individuals. Is this from what I see on a daily basis? There's a lot of individuals that need somewhere to go to, stay out of trouble with.
Come on.
You know, just like Shaq with the GCC, trying to get the community. We trying to make this a community thing. Bring the community together to help the community out within the community.
That's right. Hey, Shaq got his sign up list too. It's at gccleaners.replit.app. We working on getting a real domain purchase. But shout out to Replit once again. That's one of the top tools we use. Somebody was asking us, man, to drop 3 tools we use every day. You know what I mean? That we didn't build ourselves, but that we use from other companies. I'll say for me, number one, probably Replit. If you ain't hear me the last couple episodes, man, that thing
I
is
love Chat GPT. Sorry, Blake.
it's good. It's
You know,
good. Everybody need a LLM. I deal more with Claude, but when I hit that
I
credit
still
limit,
got Claude too, but I use both of them together.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
know,
The LLMs work for us. We don't work for the LLMs. Like that's my thing is as soon as one chat was the best for a long time. As soon as
yeah,
Claude showed me it was better, I was mind blown because I had only used chat.
yeah,
And then I started using Perplexity and Mistral and started playing with the Hermes mind, all these different LLMs. And I felt like, okay, I've done enough research now. Claude the best. But every
yeah,
time a new one come out for something, XAI is pretty good.
yeah. The Mistral
Um,
I like too.
Image and video generation, two different things.
Yeah.
Claude, as much as I love it, you can't get it to generate no image or video for you.
Hey, what was the app you're using now?
Flow.
Flow.
And
Yeah,
it's through Google.
yeah,
So Google, and I've been talking a little bit of trash about Google, especially when they jumped in that war, man. Y'all mind y'all business. Leave Gaza alone. Free Gaza. But I they early models in AI sucked. And I just don't understand. If you're Google, if you the biggest big boy in technology, how does OpenAI and Anthropic come out of nowhere spearheading the AI campaign? Like y'all didn't know this is what have y'all been doing?
anything. I feel like they think somebody was lacking in the tech industry.
It's them.
Yeah,
They were who they was thinking about because the early Gemini models trash. I
yeah.
wouldn't let that thing write my daughter's excuse note. I ain't got no kids, just hypothetically. Like that thing can't write nothing. And now it seemed like Google getting with the time. If not with
Yeah.
the LLMs, at least with the image and video.
That's why I try to tell everybody try to jump on it now. So when you do jump on it, you'll be ahead of the game.
Yeah. A lot of it, man, we talked about it before. You get so caught into your tools, you build muscle memory
Yeah,
and you don't want to learn nothing new. Man, if you're not willing to spend at least 25, 30, maybe 40% of your time now researching new tools and new workflows, you're going to get left behind.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I felt like this a week or two ago. I'm like, maybe I need to step on to this Claude code that he keep talking about because now I feel like I'm getting left behind.
It's just a different frame of reference.
Yeah,
That'll do you a lot of good. You can't really put a tool into perspective until you use a competitor.
I think I'll keep using all of the best of all three of them.
What's the 3?
Claude. So is Claude code different from Claude?
It is.
So that's why I mean all three. Claude's code, and chat. I'm sticking with them.
That's your 3 tools?
Yes.
Claude Code, and Chat. Man, hey, I was telling you earlier, that Claude Code charges you API credits.
Yeah, but from what you explained to me, it wasn't that bad.
It's not terrible, no, because they already done broke my mind a little bit going to Replit. Replit give you that quarter per transaction.
Yeah.
Claude Code might be a little bit cheaper in terms of
Like you
but
said, as
I'm not
long as you know
100%.
what you asking, as long as you're
Yeah.
100% on what you asking for.
Repli got that rollback. They got what's called version control.
Yeah.
So you can always go back to a previous version of it and revert your code base. Claude Code does not. Don't ask it unless you're sure, because it's gonna make it happen in a jiffy. It ain't gonna tell you what it changed. You just gotta go to the repository and know for yourself. Ain't no rolling back, none of that. But I was looking at it like, man, this is pretty cool. I had like $50 in the Claude credits left. I built like 3 projects. I woke up, it said empty. So that was like $50, but very, very high level code. And I don't have to sit there, keep reprompting it and telling it builds this to go list and get to work. I'm thinking, man, I should re-up on some more credits, give it some more API credits so I can keep using the Claude code. And then I look and they got a max plan that I was talking trash on. It's like $100 a month or $200 a month. That plan comes with Claude code included.
Yeah.
So that made me open my eyes like, oh, I get it. Like those 3 projects I did for $50, I could pay twice as much as that and have basically unlimited use for the month.
Yeah.
It's not unlimited, but when you get to using it too much in a time frame, they'll tell you take a break for 5 hours and come back to use it some more. So I don't know. We start making some real money. I might shell out something for that Claude code, that max plan. Or Anthropic, just sponsor us, man. Send us the credits.
That's what I'm scared to keep spending money.
The people want to try it, but
Just
they
try it.
need somebody, make sure everything all good for them, man. Look out
We got
for
it.
us.
We will surely test it out because I've been wanting to buy get more different credits, and I'm just like something new gonna come out in a couple months,
Man,
and then I'm gonna probably like that one better. Blake has taught me that something new is gonna come out, and we're gonna like it better than what we using now. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see what we got going.
that's the industry we in. I seen Mark Cuban told somebody on Shark Tank when he says, if something is really, if something is great or if it's something we doing right now, I know that's not where the future is.
Yeah.
I don't care how cool you think it is. Everything we do today is going to change in the future. I want to be a part of that change.
Just got to keep pushing the narrative.
We got to work harder.
Yeah.
We got to lock in and put our nose down. I want to tap into a quote by Jensen Huang. You know who Jensen Huang is?
Mm.
He's the CEO of NVIDIA. You follow since he been there, what's happened with that company. He's been part of a pretty meteoric rise in terms of a company's valuation. They used to do video game graphics cards, was their call to fame. People predicted that probably as, yeah, it could be a 10 million, maybe $100 million market.
Mm.
They jumped ahead of the number one thing you need for AI production. But he goes on to I think he was given might have been a dissertation at a college, or I'm not sure where he was speaking at. But he kind of went off on a tangent and was like, I want to wish everyone who hears me great suffering and hardship, because it builds character. He talk about his time he spent, like, I used to clean toilets.
Mm.
And he go into a whole spiel of like, I don't fire people. I'd rather torture them to greatness. Like, I'm gonna get right on you and make sure you do all these things to where if you a low achiever, man, I'm gonna make you quit before I quit on you. So I kind of changed my mindset. Like, all of our hardship, I tell people that every day. Like, as much as I still think it's kind of impressive, it feels bad to admit it, but it's kind of impressive. They say Donald Trump got like $1 million loan from his dad. Turning a million into some billions to me is still impressive.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to give that credit, but at the same time, no amount of the money in the world can buy the start to your story, where you came from.
Yeah.
He can't never say he came from zero.
Nah.
You can.
He'll give off the narrative that he had it hard.
Yeah. I started from nothing. I got a small $1 million loan and turned it up. And I'm saying, if I got $1 million and turn it into some billions, which is like 1,000 millions, I'll feel proud too. But it ain't starting from nothing. It ain't like what Michael Jordan did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Might put in their work though.
Yeah, he did.
But
I'm
you
saying
also, I mean,
he
all
really
right,
had no
so I'm
money
not
coming
gonna
up.
take it from Trump. Trump put in that work too, but in a different field. So I mean, you don't want to take the credit from somebody that's due. I guess
You don't.
but I don't know.
But that's something. It's certain things you always gonna have attached to you. It don't matter how much money Donald Trump run up. He can be a trillionaire tomorrow. They still gonna be like, yeah, your daddy gave you that $1 million.
Yeah.
I'll say not right now, because I feel like I'm in a better headspace. But last year, give me $1 million, I'd have blew it quick. But I still would say that when he got all that money. His daddy gave him $1
blew it on
million.
some positive though. As long as I can get that 1,000,000 times 10 back, that money gone. If I got a guarantee, if I get his million up now, I get $10 million in the next couple days. You have it.
It's all green paper, really. Don't let it, whatever happens with it, don't stress it. Don't let it weigh on your head. I think what's that podcast? I was watching the 85 South show. It was like, man, if somebody came and told you it's $1 billion, but you can't have sex for the rest of your life, man, don't nobody need all that money. Like, it's certain things in life that is just like, man, you really gonna let a piece of green paper dictate it? Because what is it to life other than the experience?
Understand certain people's situations too, because somebody will be like, "Yeah, I'll take that. As long as I can do."
That's crazy to me.
I could do this, that, and the third. I can do whatever I want for the rest of my life. Other than that, man, it's cool. You gotta think about it. Some people are like that now. People that that can't use certain parts of their body can they already living through that. So
I don't. That's the thing, though. I don't know. I've walked because California, they got a very sue happy culture.
yeah,
I walk across the street in populated areas, and I'm like, man, hurry up! This car coming kind of quick. People be like, man, I wish they would hit me. I own X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, number one, you might die. Like you might never get to. It's great for your family, but who knows who's telling the truth or whatever. If you really love somebody, would you rather have them here or $1 million?
Yeah.
Would you sell your mom for $1 million?
Nah.
No, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So for somebody in that situation, I'm like, if you was my loved one, I'd damn near slap you, because like, what are you talking about? Like, and then if you do survive, say you completely paralyzed, is that what is that worth to you? 100 million, a bit? If they gave you 5 billion, would you be like, that's fair to never move any of my extremities, just get to look and have somebody have to move that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I think life is you focus on what you don't have a lot. So when you healthy your whole life, but you ain't got no money, you like, man, that health stuff is whatever. Everybody got that. I want some money.
Yeah.
Don't trade it. That's the trick. Life is to be experienced, my boy.
To the fullest, I guess.
You guess.
I guess.
Danny ain't buying it, y'all.
Nah, a little bit. Like I said, everybody got different outlooks on certain situations. Like you said, whatever you got the list of is probably what the most you look for. Yeah, makes sense.
Everybody living at their own level of understanding. That's my thing. I try not to take too much personal, because we all just trying to do our best.
Yeah, I'm over here looking at you. Know about Sora?
Sora?
Yeah.
Sora?
Yeah.
I'm very familiar. What
Okay.
you want to know?
I just seen it. I think I played with it once or twice.
Is that a Google tool? Actually, I got more questions
It's
than
on
answers.
chat.
It's on chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on chat GPT. I guess that's what matter of fact.
Oh, that's your last one?
Nah, it's my very first one.
Looks good.
That's from the customizations. But I just typed in BSV Tech Talk, and it create videos. I didn't know it create videos.
Yeah.
On chat. Okay.
It seems like whatever the parameters are on video generation, everybody's limitation of what they letting you check it out in is in about 8 to 9 seconds.
Yeah.
So they,
Isn't that like what was the other app that we were talking about?
Flow 8 to 9 seconds. Sora, I think.
No, it was another one you were telling me about.
Mm,
The
so many.
that generate the videos.
Imagine
No, I thought it was VO3.
VO is powered by Flow.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
So they get re-rocked quick.
okay. Yeah, I was looking. I thought that was something different.
You and me, we're thinking too deep. We're actually trying to add value. It's so many people out here that are like, people have heard of AI, but they haven't heard the brand names of Open AI and Anthropic, and they just wrap that AI API in a whole new app that's like easy AI. Sell it on the App Store.
Um, yeah. Um, I'm over here trying to create a video. Let me get off this thing because now I'm interested. Now I got something to go home and do. Figure out,
Hmm.
play with this Sora, and now what it is, Flow.
Flow. And
Flow.
right now,
Yeah.
Flow, which is through Google, is through their new generative suite of tools.
Hmm.
They got a similar little thing to where it's $20 a month, but your first month is free right now. And they got like a $200 a month plan where you can generate thousands and thousands of 9-second videos. You and me been looking at them. They're good videos. You
That's
can
the one
patch together animation.
you was showing. Do I have to look it up on VO3?
No, I would look up Flow Google.
Oh.
FLOW. You got to put the W.
Yes,
Third one.
that's what I looked at the first
Um,
time. I was like, so we got our listeners looking for it.
that it is. Flow Labs Google. There it
Oh,
is. That's it right there. So Flow
ooh. Oh, it's powered
uses,
by Meta too.
yeah, it's got all the big names involved in it.
So you want to know something crazy, right?
What's that?
Everything you do on Meta, you can do through those your glasses, the VR glasses, right? I created an app, uh, one of the apps through my VR glasses. It looks horrible, but I feel like, cause I think because I got the older model, if I get a newer model, I think it'll look 10 times better. You can do a whole lot more. I want to create a video. That'd be great.
There you go. Click right there. You'll be halfway there. How it works is you can obviously do prompt to video, but they gotta you know how you can add images to influence videos? Their method is, and I like it because I hadn't thought of this, but it's helped me think in better UI terms in terms of generating video. They let you add the first frame
Mm.
and the last frame and tell how it got there.
Uh,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
So generate the beginning of the 9-second video, that image in the end, and it can be the beginning, somebody standing, the end, the dude up flat on his face, and you just tell it, make this dude walk and trip or whatever, whatever the action you're trying to dictate. But in thinking in 9-second sprints and only needing 2 pictures to generate something with good consistency throughout, that's not that hard of a workflow to me.
No. Are you an AI subscriber?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one right there, the free 1,000 monthly AI credits. But click to see all plans real quick. Boom, they're gonna hit you for like 200. Oh no, they crossed it half out. So for the first 3 months, Google AI Ultra wants $124.99 a month. But after that 3 months, it's going back to the 250. Yeah, you ain't see that, did you?
I'm just trying to figure out why is it for 3 months?
They want to get you addicted to it. Like, look at the quality I'm making of the videos.
Oh
And then
yeah.
after that 3 months, they hoping nothing else comes to compete with them in that lane.
Get 30 terabytes.
Or you just don't. Yeah, you do get 30 terabytes of storage. That's huge. And the YouTube
Huge.
Premium, man, that'll help us.
Yeah. Yeah. Whisk.
Notebook LLM, that's good.
Highest limits. So Whisk is the video creator.
Is it
That's what it's saying. Highest limits to images to
image to
video.
video creation with VO2? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But Flow uses VO3. And that's the one that's got me impressed. I saw VO2 a while ago. It's good, but it ain't like VO3.
Yeah. What's the difference? Oh, I see.
A newer version. The difference between Claude 3.5, Claude 3.7, and Claude 4.0
You get 12,000 monthly credits if you get the.
versus with the $20 a month. Was it 1,000?
How many credits does one video generate though?
I think I did one. It was like 8. It might be a credit a second.
Oh, it's not bad.
How many seconds? How many minutes is 1,000 seconds?
Hey, so who's a university student? If you're a university student, tap in with us.
What? I go to university right now. Check my eligibility.
Free 15 months.
Come on, man. I went to BSVU.
You know how much that costs? Oh, you gotta verify your student status.
How?
Let's see.
Enter your school affiliated email. I still got mine.
Yeah.
Let's go. Give me the link to that.
No, let me use it.
OneGoogle.com. On mine.
You can go ahead and download it on mine. And
yeah, Google, step your security up.
Jason.
Google One.
Yeah.
My name is Blake Bullard. I'm in penetration testing. Pause.
Big pause. You got one.google.
Huh? What was I supposed to put?
One
yeah, I'm at the right place. So we gonna get on that sometime else when it ain't no video evidence.
See, you ain't get to read that when you first looked it up.
Nah, I didn't. They put that at the bottom down there strategically. Yeah, like, they don't want you knowing. They just that's something they tell when they go to Congress and ask for more money for their chips. Like, yeah, well, we doing it for the schools too.
Yes, with the free upgrade to Google AI Pro plan, giving you more access. You get the Gemini app, the notebook LM, the Wisp, plus 2 terabytes free storage.
My top tools right now, Claude Code. They didn't jump over Replit a little bit to me. I still got Replit in my top 3 though, because they do take all the guesswork out of the deployments. Easy Auth, Easy DB. I can correlate all my different databases together and do some cool thing. You know what I mean? Make some centralized hubs and that type of thing. That third spot. It might be Canva, man. Advertising is everything. I gotta make my flyers and posters. Y'all see the new BSV Codex Metatron and Lux Code presents. That's straight off of Canva. Probably took me what? Well, nah, because I was thinking about it yesterday too and looking at it. But when I sat down today to do it, it didn't look nothing like this. Probably had that done in like 30 minutes.
I think I forgot to shout out Adobe. You don't like Adobe no more.
I'm so tired of them. We got time for me to bash them for a second?
Nah, man, because that's how, it all started. You can't bash where you started from.
Unless they pay me, I'm going to go ahead and take a leap of faith. Adobe, what is your deal? It's 2025. You last on AI for video and image generation. All these different things. We got people coming out the woodwork. How do you let Mid-Journey eat your lunch? How do you let Imagine and all these other people? Y'all were supposed to have image generation down. Yes, y'all do have an extensive suite of tools that you can do everything in. The problem, Danny, is you need a PhD to navigate all this stuff in 2 hours. Don't get me riled up.
Don't
on
hate
these
on
intellectual radio.
It's where you started us from. It's what you got me hooked on. So everything I've created started with Adobe.
We all supposed to free think, and I'm breaking out of my Adobe slave mind, bro. These people don't run nothing.
Adobe makes you think though.
They don't.
Yes, it makes everything a whole lot harder because, like you said, you need a PhD to navigate through everything.
That's what I'm saying. Why make it complicated?
Learn the fundamentals.
When we make something good, it's user friendly. You want to be friends with the user.
Yeah.
This make me want to jump the makers of the software. Like, I feel like they make image editing software for customers who they hate. Is that strong to feel that way?
I feel like they put you in a great creative mindset.
I don't. And they charging $34.99. I go broke all the time. I try to go cancel the software. Guess what? They magically got it to where I can't cancel it till it charged me again. That's exploitative, Danny. I hate people like that. Y'all got millions, man. Let me just cancel it, without y'all charging me.
I'm still a friend for the freebie.
Send me some money, Adobe, so I can stop bashing y'all, please, because I don't like to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up before we piss off anybody who might ever be a sponsor of the BSV. We don't want all enemies. We need y'all as friends. We need y'all support. Please look out for the BSV. Y'all stay tapped in with us. We about to wrap it up. Got another show coming through the studio.
Appreciate y'all tapping in with us on our journey through our tech industry.
Adobe, we're going to eat your lunch. We're going to be here same time next week. I'm going to have an image editor that y'all can be proud of. BSV, stand up.
Thank you again, Intellectual Radio, for having us.
Thank you, Intellectual Radio.
I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium.